What's up, fam? I'm not sure if you've heard the news yet, but this is finally here. As of November 7th, Splat to Clat by gospel musicians has made its debut on the Apple App Store for iOS and iPadOS producers, as well as the standard VST plugin for desktop and laptop producers. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I did a video about it a couple weeks ago, but Splat to Clat is a Rompler style beat machine and drum designer. Pretty much an all-in-one drum loop library with a bunch of kits, chops, and drum breaks that features that urban sound and some soulful vibes and just overall percussive elements to get your beats going and get some texture to your rhythms. And it's all in one machine, so I figured I would go over some of my additional favorite features of this app and go over some of the sounds and demos of what these kits actually sound like. Let's talk about it. So Splat to Clat features full AUV3 support, and like I talked about in my other video, you have up to 12 pads and 3 banks of 12 pads. So you can tap here to load your factory kits, and then I'm gonna go with the nil chill hop vibes. And you can audition all your grooves just by pressing play. I think I want to go down in BPM. I want to change my beats per minute to and you'll notice that as soon as I change my beats per minute, my tempo also changed on Splat to Clat. So it's made to sync with your external device or your DAW. Let's go ahead and browse through the different sounds. So in BeatMaker 3, you can actually use the regular pads to record your sequence. You can still use your note repeat. And the great thing about using this inside of BeatMaker 3 is that Splat to Clat doesn't really have any velocity features built in, so it's all up to your controller. With BeatMaker 3 being the controller, once you've recorded this to your sequence or to your timeline, you can use the velocity features on BeatMaker 3 or your external device to kind of govern that. And it records that MIDI real time. You can also import your own MIDI grooves to play inside of Splat to Clat. And on desktop, you can export the MIDI from out of Splat to Clat onto your timeline. So all you have to do is to go into this tab here, and if you have any MIDI folders, you can go ahead and import a single file or import a whole library of MIDI files. Let's just keep going so we can demo some more of the sounds. Let's see what it sounds like with our. So if we want to keep auditioning grooves without necessarily committing to them, we can delete that MIDI that's in that pattern. So I really like that. But that cymbal is just not doing it for me. So I can either go ahead and press and hold on the control on the wrench tool, and then I can manipulate the sounds, the amps, the control, even throw a filter on it, or I could just replace that overall. I can even import my own user sounds. So if I go to user and hit import, I can go to my own sample folders or my own sample files by just importing. And on desktop, this is a very similar workflow, but it's a lot more simpler. It's just as simple as dragging and dropping on top of a pre-existing pad, and it'll replace that sound. I wish it was a little bit more simpler on the iPad the way it is on desktop, where I could just grab a file from the files folder, bring that file over onto Splat to Clat, but it's just not as simple. So on iOS, we're just stuck with navigating through the actual import folder for this file. So let's go ahead and find a replacement. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with So that was another quick video of gospel musicians Splat to Clat and using it inside of BeatMaker 3. So once again, it just released on November 7th, and right now it is actually on sale. The entry price is, I believe, about $7 or $8. So that is a steal for $7 or $8, especially having it on iOS and being able to flip back and forth between desktop and the iPad. Being able to import and use your own sounds, having so much control over the sound design and kit building, as well as the entire factory library with built-in high fidelity sounds that are already in it. You probably won't even need to bring in your own sounds. These are just as good, if not better. But it's dope that you have that option so that you can use this in any DAW without having to interrupt your workflow trying to search for sounds that you know are gonna hit. That's Splat to Clat by gospel musicians on the iPad. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.